Hello, everyone. Okay, I'm letting everybody join us here, making sure that everything is good. We are recording. I know Scott is he's hopping on here now to join us as well. So I'll just give it about 30 seconds here or so. But you guys, it's Friday. We made it to Friday. This is so exciting. Here he is, the man of the hour. It's Scott Rutz. He's still getting in. Scott, can you hear us?
Yes.
Sweet, cool.
Sorry.
Oh, no worries. For everyone, I was like, Scott, you coming? But it's a morning here, on a Friday. So we just gotta.
It's totally my bad. I just got a new computer and hooking all of the stuff up to it. It's an adventure every time you hook up our setup and all of that. So super apologize, Stephanie, that I was late to our own webinar.
No worries. I always knew you'd be showing up, so it's okay.
He's coming. I promise. He's totally coming.
He's coming.
He's gonna be here.
I think so, guys. Yeah. Oh, Joan just said that she has to hook up a new modem today. Ooh,
good luck with that, Joan. And hopefully you don't have to call your internet supplier.
Yeah.
We all know going through COVID, none of us have not had the privilege of not talking to our internet service provider. That's always fun. So
yeah,
we've all had that fun. So
yeah, but one good thing. So technology could be like so not fun sometimes, but you know what technology can be, Scott? Travefy.
Mm-hmm.
Travefy technology is good. It works.
It works, and we try to make it fun to talk to us instead of not fun.
Exactly. Yeah. And so that's why, we always rag on technology, but it's actually really great too. And you're going to see why today, for Travefy's landing page builder. And everybody joining us, thank you so much for joining us. It's Friday, which is super exciting. This is more like a party because it's Friday. So anything's a party on Friday. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. That's perfect. But I'm also really excited because this is just, I love talking about Travefy, obviously, but this topic is so cool. It just was released. And the cool thing is we released websites 2020. So it feels like that was last
just
year,
over a year ago. It just had its first birthday.
Oh,
so it's a little baby.
It did. It's just entering the newborn life of
still in diapers.
Yeah.
Giving it cereal, rice cereal, whatever.
Yeah. Moving on from the formula, certain things. It's trying new foods. It's great. But it's still new. And so the cool thing about it is a lot of users have not seen it. They don't know it exists on there. They're just now discovering it. And now we just released a landing page, which that's what we're going to focus on here today. And that just took this to a whole nother level. And we're going to show you that here today. Yeah, Scott, I know you're super pumped.
It's huge. No, for any of you that have been around us or know me or chatted with me in the past, I come from a marketing and advertising background. And so I 1,000% love anything that we do that's squarely in the marketing channel or gives you really good, easy to use marketing tools. And the other part that I love is that it gives you tools, but it helps you save money because within Travefy, we're adding more functionality. We're not increasing the price of the product. We have itineraries, we added in proposals, we added in a CRM, forms, credit card authorization, website builder, and now landing pages. And we're really trying hard to pack in more and more value. And this tool, the landing page tool, this is similar to tools out there that you would pay, I'm not kidding, $20 to $50 a month if you went through different service. And so it's really, really cool, easy to use professional tools that then you can spin up new marketing pages and things like that for different parts of your business. So I personally love this. And, these are things that we're going to keep investing in over time at Travefy and adding new improvements, new enhancements along the way.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is really cool. And one thing, so Scott touched on all of the different tools. So yeah, we do have other tools. So if you are new to Travefy, definitely go check all the other tools out because itineraries, proposals, that is, I always like to say our bread and butter because that's where we really started. And then we started adding more to it. The simple CRM, the forms and the website, and now the landing page that goes into websites. So if you are new, you can go to Travefy.com Travefy.com, start a free trial, schedule a one-on-one demo. We can walk through all these features with you, all of that. But the great thing is, like Scott also mentioned, is all of this is part of your subscription. So if you are a Travefy user and you are watching this webinar, you already have access to the website builder. You can build unlimited amount of landing pages. So it's all included in your subscription, which is cool.
And that was very timely that you asked that or answered that, because a question just came in, and a travel advisor, and I apologize, their name's not coming in. It just is coming in as anonymous. So that's why I'm not using your name. Sorry. But they get Travefy through their host agency. So their host agency is on one of our host agency plans. And they're asking, do I get the landing page tool through my account, through my host agency? And to just echo Stephanie's answer, yes. Even if you're on a volume license through your host agency or host agency plan, you get all of the features, all of the functionality of Travefy.
Yep, exactly. So it's so cool. So awesome. And well, with all that being said, what we're going to focus on today, again, is a landing page builder and website. So website tool, it's really all in the same. And you're going to see what I mean once I get into my account, and you'll see it all lives together. But what we're going to do is we first want to do just a quick landing page anatomy breakdown. So we just want to break down, what is the landing page? What's making it different? What does that look like? And then we're going to walk through and actually just build one together. So that's going to be the really fun part, is we're going to build this completely together. And then at the end, I'm just going to walk through some tips, that has to do with, social sharing and SEO. So getting that extra value out of what you create. And then we'll open it up for Q&A. So feel free, put in your questions too, whenever they come up. And I know Scott will be in there helping to sift through them and answer. And then we'll have time at the end to answer those questions as well.
And I will try not to be distracting visually while
no.
I answer questions where I'm.
Oh yeah, if he looks really into his computer, that's what he's doing.
I do get comments in the chat when we're doing webinars of like, Scott, why do you look so angry? And it's because I'm very focused answering questions. So I apologize if I look that way. I'll try to make it look like I'm happy because it's Friday. So
yeah, it's Friday. Woo! But okay, so the first thing, what is a landing page? So there might be people on here who you're like, I already know what this is. You have a really great marketing playbook already. And then there's some who maybe don't have a ton of marketing experience. And, and regardless of your marketing level, this tool is going to help you. So it really doesn't matter what your marketing level is, which is really great about this. Because with this, you can just craft your own landing page. And a landing page, you keep hearing us say that, but a landing page is really just a standalone page that is purely marketing based, or just highly functional to communicate things outside of your website. So it's kind of part of your website, could be, your website could be linking to it, but it also is a standalone page. It's always just its own URL that someone can go to and get information about, usually one thing, which our examples here are, a cruise package, group trips, promotions, destination weddings. So those are just some examples. The example that I'm going to do today is a river cruise, a group river cruise, just to show that. But those are some of those big examples, in there.
Yeah. So those are really good examples. Where I hear this very, very commonly, very frequently in chatting with travel advisors is if they've got a block of rooms on a cruise, they're putting together a group cruise, they have a destination wedding, and they just need a really good professional looking page that they can drop in all of the information, details, logistics, pricing, forms to collect inquiries or information from clients. And they just need a simple tool to do that. And historically, it's too complicated for a lot of travel advisors to actually get into like a WordPress or some other system to create a custom page for that. This simplifies that. So you can create a really nice standalone marketing page for any type of promotion or group or package that you're putting together.
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly. And that's why I purposely chose the river cruise example, because even though if you don't do cruises or river cruises, think of this as, or if it's not a group trip, just think about how this is being broke down for what you specialize in. So feel free to, at the end of this, and I'll say this again at the end, but we can do trainings and one-on-ones if you're like, okay, how would I do this for what I particularly sell, type of a thing. But regardless of what is on your landing page, we broke it down into here are the important elements of a landing page. So we want to go through, and this is why we call it the anatomy of a landing page, because it's very simple. It's just that you want these main points in this order and then just craft it to customize what you're trying to tell. So, for example, the first thing that you want is a hero section and a headline. And again, we're going to go through this here. We're going to actually build it together. But then the second thing is compelling or supporting message. The third thing is social proof. Maybe that looks like a client testimonial. And then, of course, add that itinerary or the product details of what it might be. And then the end is probably the most important one, is just a really clear, concise call to action. And we're going to use the form feature because we're going to say, you got to fill out this form to get in contact, and then you get all that information. But that's just kind of a quick breakdown. And this is going to make a ton more sense once we actually really dive in to the account. So I'll do that unless you have anything else to add to this, Scott.
Yeah, this is where I'm going to sound like the resident old guy at Travefy, because in my day, I've built some landing pages. So in the early days of Travefy, when we were trying to get our name out there, build marketing, SEO, I built a whole bunch of landing pages for people and for search engines, things like that. A few things in terms of best practices with landing pages. If you're feeling fuzzy, or if you actually kind of have a pretty good knowledge of basics with landing pages, there are 1,000,001 really great resources out on the internet that you can search for. Just literally go into Google or your search engine and search landing page best practices or landing page tips, and you'll find tons out there. These are just a few of the basics. If you're a landing page expert, you might know of some others. This is for really to outline kind of the basics of the anatomy of a core pieces of a landing page. Key things that you always want to remember when you're building a landing page. It's doing and accomplishing one goal. You got to know what that one goal is before you jump in. The goal of a landing page is not to throw 20 different things at your lead or at your potential customer that's coming to that landing page. It's what is the one thing you want them to do, and everything else on that landing page serves that purpose. So think about that, and that helps frame how you work. Is the headline supporting what that goal is? Is the messaging and the copy and the text supporting that goal? Is the content supporting that goal? Is the form supporting that goal? Those types of things are super important to think through that. And so, for example, in Stephanie's outline here, number one is have a hero section and headline. Notice that it does not say, do you have navigation to all of the other parts of your website and all of your other promotions? That's not the point of a landing page. The landing page is to get the user, your lead, to do one thing there. So just a really important emphasis as we're working through this.
Yeah, that's a really good point, because as the example that we're going to do here today, our goal for this landing page is going to be I'm going to do a group river cruise, and I want people interested and I want them to sign up. So that's really sign up for more interest, and they can learn more, and then hopefully, end result, convert and purchase a room on board. So that's going to be our goal. So I'm glad you said that, Scott. See, this is why Scott is a marketing guru. So it's perfect. He's
Easy with
leading
the
us down the
guru.
path.
I don't know if I want that title.
It's great. It's great. Yes, and there are a lot of Travefy, all the landing pages of Travefy that have been out there. There's a lot of them. So yes, he knows what he's talking about. But I'm going to go ahead and jump into my account. So this is what you're going to do now. So when you are ready to set up your landing page or landing pages, because you can create as many as you want, you're just going to first go into your account. And to access your website, because it's all in the website builder, is just click on your name in the top right-hand corner and then click website. So you'll be able to go there. Now, another thing I want to note on, and I hope I don't open a can of worms of this because we can talk about it in the questions, but team members, you can access this now because you can create landing pages as well. So if you are on a team and you're not the team admin, you might start seeing that there. And that's why that's appearing now. So just a side note on that. But now in here, this is my main page. So this is what it's always looked like. You can see I created a home page here a while back. I have just some basic stuff in here for my, my fake website. And this is just in here living already. So this is nothing new. But now where the new part is when you right up here in the toolbar, you can click this drop down menu. and you can start creating new pages. So you can just say create new page. It opens a whole new one of this screen, pretty much a whole new page builder. And then that's where you can customize for that particular landing page. So, just to help save a little bit of time, I actually already created a new one. So, I have the Gems of Southeast Europe. So, that's the river cruise that I'm pushing, is an Alma Waterways Gems of Southeast Europe. So, I've already created this, but I haven't done anything more. So, this is all still basic. So, when you first get in here, this is going to be very similar to what you see. Now, one thing to note on is you can change. We do have 4 different themes that you can choose in the website builder, and you can change the theme for every landing page. So if you click right here, where in your settings and click theme, I can always switch back and forth. So I could choose one of these other themes if I wanted. But I'm just going to go ahead and keep at the Santorini theme. But then I can also, do that theme color too. Um, and then, of course, in here, these elements, even though these elements are already provided for you, you can click and you can delete them and add your own. And so we'll definitely add our own here. So you'll see how that all works. But so just a couple things to know when you're first getting started and going in there.
And
But
quick pause in there, because there's a
yes.
little nuance. A few
Yep.
different people, Lisa and Joan and Sasha, asked a quick question that I thought would actually be helpful to briefly answer this, just so it doesn't cause confusion. They're asking, do I have to create a website before I can create a landing page? And there's a little nuance to that. You don't have to create a website, but if you go in and just create your landing page initially, then you can use that as a landing page. But it's set up so that you could build your website and then have separate standalone landing pages that can be connected to your website or not connected. Think of the website builder as where you can house all of your website pages and landing pages, and you can choose how to use them as you wish. So it's really, really flexible. That's what I want to underline there. It's not constricted where like you have to create this elaborate website, then you can create a landing page. You can just go in, start building pages.
Yeah, that's a really good call. And I see someone else said, if I already have a website, can I still? Yes. So that's what's great about this is just acting as a landing page. So it's really just a URL that you can share. And so that's what's so cool about this. So yeah, definitely. But yeah, so glad you clarified that because that's a really good point. Is yeah, you don't have to set it all up and then you can use it. You can just start using it. So even though like I have this luxury meta, that's my home page, that could just be a landing page. It doesn't have to be my main website. But okay, so our first thing, so I'm gonna go with the same anatomy that we showed that slide of, and I'm gonna walk through each one. So the first one is that hero and headline. So this is really important. I don't know if this, Scott, would you say this is the most important one? Or it's very important.
The hero's insanely important on a
Mhm.
landing page, and that's because it displays above the fold. So when a user initially comes to your landing page, the first thing they see is the most important thing that happens. So the
Mhm.
photo or the imagery has to be killer. It has to be really, really good and really enticing. And more importantly, the headline needs to match with however they got to the landing page. So you want to think of the psychology and the messaging to be very consistent from whatever you put out there, whether it's a Facebook ad or it's a promotion or something in your email newsletter, wherever you're trying to get them to the landing page, the copy and the button need to work with and make sense with whatever they see on that hero. So if you're talking about, a river cruise itinerary in your email marketing newsletter, and they click on that and they get to the landing page and it doesn't really have anything to do about a river cruise, when they get to the landing page, when they see the hero, it's confusing and you'll see a decrease in your conversions of inquiries and things like that if it doesn't make sense along the way. So you want that initial thing to in your email newsletter or Facebook ad to be consistent with the hero, to be consistent with the call to action or the button that we're talking about here in a few moments.
Mhm. Yeah. So and then that hero, so the hero is well, we called it, it's really what the term is a hero's the top of the thing. It's literally the hero. It's the first thing that you're gonna see, and it generally has that headline and maybe a subheading with it. Now we also call it a hero because that's what we call this element. So everything in this builder is built with separate elements. So like this element right here is called a hero. So if you click a new element, see how that says hero? So that's also how we're describing it as well.
Yeah, that's the entire section there. So
Mhm.
excluding that navigation at the top where it says Travelisas and contact us,
It's
that photo, I think that's of Greece there. That photo with the headline, that entire section is called a hero. So it's
Mhm.
really designed to be that first big impression, most enticing thing that a user sees when they hit the landing page. So there are a few questions on that came in while we were talking about that.
Perfect. Yeah. And this will make sense too. So for this first hero, what I'm going to do is, again, I'm focusing on a river cruise, a group river cruise that I'm trying to sell. So I'm going to go ahead and I can change this photo. Really important. Choose an enticing photo. I mean, we know photos sell places. So I'm actually just going to go ahead and I'm going to add in a photo from our stock photo database. So I'm going to do, I think it was Budapest is what I want. So I'm just going to search Budapest. And again, these are all free stock photos that you can use in Travefy. So feel free. These are all, and they're all large quality too, which is nice. So they'll scale very well on any screen size. But I want to go ahead and use, let's see, this one right here. I want this one. And then I'm going to go ahead and save it. And now I have a photo that represents what this is all about. Now, what is the most important thing? My headline. So, for my headline, I'm going to put touch history on the Danube. So, I'm just trying to get some feels, psychology, get the feels, the emotion. So, that's what I'm going to do. And then you don't have to put a subheading, but I would recommend it. And I'm going to just put a little bit extra here to say, be treated to the flavors, sights, and sounds. And if you are an Alma Waterways person who sells a lot of it, you're gonna know probably. I literally just took this from their website, so I wish I could take the credit, but that's coming from them. So I'm sure, especially if you're the experts, you will come up with really great words and context to use here. But that's all I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna save this, and there we go. We have our hero. So as you can see, the first one, this is the first element. You're gonna see this become a common thing. This is really quick and easy to do. Um, so now I have my hero. So my first part is done. So now the second part of our anatomy is making just grabbing something compelling. So what I decided to do on this one is I'm using this element. So this element was already in here and we call this an A side. Now it could be a right one or a left one and you'll see what I mean when I add the next one. But it just has a photo and some text on the side. So what I wanted to do with this one is I just want to be really quick and simple. And I just want to say cruise at a glance because I just want to give them more information. Like, here's what this is, So I'm just going to put, a subheading and heading, and then I'm going to drop in this text right here. So again, this is just a really quick overview of what this is all about, what they can expect at this cruise, but also enticing them at the same time. Because I mean, who wouldn't want to touch history in Hungary, Croatia, Serbia? I mean, amazing. And then, of course, I also want to add that photo, a new one, because this is Greece, so it won't work for this one. So I'm just going to go ahead and change this image. And again, I'm just going to use our free photos database because it's just so easy to do. So this time I'm going to choose Croatia. So I want to spread out, the countries and show different ones here. So I'm going to go ahead and use this one right here, this photo. Click save that, and boom. So I hope I'm not going too quick on this, but it really is that simple. I mean, I know that I had this ahead of time, but as you can see what I did here is I have just, again, it's really simple and it's not a ton of text in your face, not a ton of information, but it's enough to capture and be like, oh, this is really cool. I want to know more. So that's really what this is. And again, it doesn't have to be exactly what I'm doing, but hopefully you get the idea of kind of what you could be using there. So that next third thing that I want to add in here to our landing page anatomy is we want that social proof. And in this case, I'm going to do a client testimonial. So to do this, I am going to add a new element. So you're going to see here how we can add an element together. So I'm going to press new element. And I'm going to choose another one that looks like this element we just used, but it's going to be on the left side. So then that way it's, just evens it out, makes it feel really good weighted there. So in this one, again, what I want to do is I'm going to put a quick client testimonial. So what I'm going to do is for my headline, I decided to just put a really short quote, trip of a lifetime, be like, oh, wow, this, this person has cred, this is really interesting. If I'm someone coming to this website to see, oh, okay, they've already worked with people before, like I can trust this person, type of a thing. So
And
then,
there,
oh, go
I
ahead.
was going to mention on the testimonial thing, we have some
Hmm.
really nice other elements that you can use for testimonials that work really well with, say, your client shares a really nice photo while they're on their trip or a headshot, that type of thing. There are some other elements that work really well for that, to have a nice little thumbnail photo and a quote within there
Hmm.
as well. So just an FYI. The other thing I was going to mention, with this specific element that Stephanie's using, any of those that are like side by side, we call them asides. Having a photo where it's not super zoomed in on your client or super zoomed in on the subject matter is going to work better, because they're mobile responsive and they'll change depending on the screen size, and it will just work better, more consistently, if it's not super zoomed in or super cropped in on whatever the photo is of.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a good point. And you can see as you're going along, you can click the preview button and you can view what this is looking like, and then also see what it looks like on mobile. So you can see here like what this is looking like. So that's a good point to just go through. I mean, it's super simple to just go check that out as you're working along on this. And the other one that Scott was mentioning for that you could use for like reviews is then if you click new element, you could do the medium card gallery right here. You could do that one and see how this one here, I'll just add it in here so you can see how this one has, you can do just a really like a smaller photo, just a simple title and the text. So then this is a great way if I want to put multiple testimonials or whatever it might be, you can do that too. So definitely play around after this webinar, go play around with the different elements, because you might find ones that work for you that we never even talk about. So definitely check those out in there. But yeah, and one thing I did while Scott was mentioning that is I just threw in a photo. It'd be really great if I actually had the photo from the person's trip, but this is a fake client, so I just pulled in again one of Travefy's free photos, but it still looks good. I like this. I think it matches the aesthetic of all these other colors and all that. So that's another thing is matching all stuff. So it looks great. Okay, so the next one to do, and this is one of the top ones because this is going to be where you can see Travefy as a whole product coming together. And this is where you want to put in the itinerary. So you can build itineraries on Travefy if you didn't know. And so you can make a trip, make an itinerary like you would for a normal client, and then bring that into this website so they can actually see what does this trip look like. So this is going to be a huge one. So what I'm going to do to add my trip is I'm going to choose new elements. So there is a special element just for itineraries or proposals, is right here, trip gallery. So I can choose trip gallery and I'm just going to drag and drop it right in. So here we have, and Travefy automatically gives me three. We call these cards. It already automatically gives me three cards. So I could add more. You can add as many as you want, but I'm actually going to remove them because I just need one card because this is just one trip that I'm promoting right now. So I'm going to go ahead and just leave it as one card. And then to bring in my Travefy itinerary, so I've already created the itinerary in my Travefy account. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click this pencil icon. So that pencil icon right next to this card. And then here's where you can put the heading, and I'll come back to this part. But down at the bottom, you can see where it says import from Travefy. So I'm going to choose that. And then I'm going to choose a trip item. And now all of the trips that I have in my account currently are going to be in here. Now, it's important to note that these are going to be all your trips that are currently active. So if you have something archived, it won't show up in here. So just make sure to unarchive that and you'll see it. But you can see this trip right here, Gems of Southeast Europe. I've already created it. So I'm going to go ahead and just click that plus icon and it brings it in. It's bringing in the title and also the picture. So I could change the image, but I don't really need to because it's already has what I wanted in there. But then I can add a couple other things to this. So I could change the heading if I want. I can also go ahead and add in the description. So I didn't have a description previously for this trip. So I'm just going to add that in. But also, I want to call out the badge because the badge can be a really cool thing where if you want to put like pricing, it's just kind of a little mini call out. You could put pricing. I'm going to put the dates because that's really important for this cruise. So I'm going to put the dates in here. I could put like just booking or now booking or 2 seats left. I mean, you could really use that badge however you want, but it's just a really great
On
way to
sale.
yeah, on sale.
Okay.
No, not for Gems of South. It's worth every penny, you know. But what I was gonna put though is yeah, like booking now, or yeah, if it is like a promotion, you want to say
Limited space available. Now, a little
ooh,
urgency
yeah.
goes well with a landing page.
That is good. And actually, I'm going to do that after this. So you could do it, you could put it in there, but I'm going to put in my CT, my call to action. You just wait till you see this. Everybody's going to want to book this trip after. I'm telling you, Alma is going to be like, thank you, Travefy. We got this trip booked. This landing page is going to be so awesome. But that's really all you do. So there we go. I'm just going to go ahead and save this. So that's important. Always make sure you go and save this as well in there. And then I'm just going to cancel out of that. And there it is. So see how it's sitting in there. And once we view this as, actually, let's just view it now. I just want to show you this. I'm going to click preview and I want to show you what this is going to look like here. So if I scroll down here, here's what it is. Now, this is where your mind is going to be blown because when I click view trip, it's going to look like a normal Travefy itinerary. So see this. So it's a normal Travefy itinerary. And again, I just put this together beforehand. And also, side note, I pulled this from Travefy's database. So it took me a minute to create, which is another amazing thing. But notice at the top how it says contact. So if somebody finds themselves on this, they could contact me right from here. So it's also another layer of marketing in there. So it's not, guiding them somewhere else that they're going to lose where they were on your landing page. It's just telling them to contact. So it's just kind of another really amazing feature there. Okay. So now for the final part is the call to action. And this is the one that I said, this is one of my personally favorite ones because this is where you really want to get fun with your wording and, really make them be like, I got to contact them right now or do whatever it is that you want them to do. So in this call to action, you can see it literally says a call to action because if you click new element, there it is. We call it call to action. So we try to make it easy for you that is what you're trying to accomplish with this element right here. So in this element, what I'm going to do is a few things. Let's change this photo. Let's not forget to change the photo because that one's not going to represent, where my clients are headed on this trip. So I'm going to just do Danube. So I'm just going to pick one of these. I'll just select this image here. And I'm going to click save. There we go. Looks pretty. And then for my heading. So, and I'm sure like everyone on here could probably even come up with better headings than this, but I just said, get ready to discover the gems of Southeast Europe. This is your action. This is what you've been waiting for. So, and then here's, this is my part that I was mentioning, Scott, is bookings are filling up so quick. Act now.
Urgency.
Urgency. Yes. Yeah, really quick, easy urgency right there. But now, what do we want them to do? We've got them interested. So I'm going to add a button here. Now, it's not just any button. So when I click add button, you could direct them anywhere. You could direct them to an external link, email you, but this is also going to sync to our forms. So if you're not familiar, Travefy has the ability where you can create forms. So any type of information you need to capture from anybody, from your clients, you can create a form for that. So I'm going to go ahead and sync it to a form. So I'm going to click form. Now the text is going to read, reserve your spot. So basically this form is just going to have them fill out their basic information so that I know they're interested and then I will follow up with them. So it could be another thing. It could be like their actually signing up. So you could do that too. But you could go ahead and just create a new form if you need to. Just click new form. It's super simple to do. Just give it a title. You can create your questions. Here's kind of just an inside look of what it looks like is you can choose, what type of information are you asking for? Is it required? Add additional things, add your questions. So really easy to do.
I can't underscore the forms enough
Yeah.
in your landing pages and your websites. Many of you are probably used to using services like an external form builder, like a Google form, Cognito form, whatever it might be. But then all of that stuff usually gets stuck and housed in that other software. With building your forms in Travefy, when you have leads come into your landing page or your website, they're automatically added into the CRM in Travefy. So everything's talking to each other and working together so that you don't have to do extra work when someone comes to your website and says, hey, send me a quote. It's already in Travefy, already in the CRM for you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a really good point is everything is in one place. That's the cool thing. And so when I just want to import this form from Travefy, so you can see my forms in here. So this one right here, this Gems of Southeast Europe, that's the one I want. So I already built it ahead of time. So I have that. And I'm just going to import it in there. So now it's imported. It's already there. So I can just say save. And now what happens when somebody does fill out that form, you'll receive an email notification letting you know, and then you can go find it in your Travefy account. So again, as Scott mentioned, it all is in one place, which is just so incredible. But that's the end of the form building, or sorry, not form building, but the whole landing page. So if we just preview this really quick, you can see here we have that hero, we have a compelling message, some social proof, the trip itself, and then a call to action, which if you click reserve your spot, this is what it's going to look like. So you can say, type your full name. And these are just the questions I asked for. So you can ask for any type of question that you need. But also notice how the form stays in this window. It doesn't take them out somewhere else. So that's also the nice thing too.
Yeah, really, really important. Like go to the top, Stephanie,
Mhm.
and then just slowly scroll through here. I want everyone to take a look. What is important with a landing page is everything has to be very, very clear and very focused. You're not adding in lots of things that are super distracting. All of it serving a main purpose, very simplified and very focused. So it's super, super important. Now, what I'm going to do in the chat, I'm going to throw the link to this landing page that Stephanie just built. I'm going to throw that in the chat so that all of you can click on that and actually see it live, the landing page that she just built in the last few minutes. So feel free to click through to that if that's helpful.
Yeah, definitely go click. I just published it. So that's another thing too, is make sure you always click that publish button there to give the latest version of it. So you can see, really simple, really easy. And look how fast we did that. I mean, it's really incredible. A couple of things that I do want to talk about though, before we get into the questions is just some of the things in settings. So you saw that I went ahead and just created a new one that I already had set up, but a couple things to point out is one, you can always set up your own domain. So I've actually had this domain mask. So you'll see that I love how Asdean said, mind blowing. It is. But you'll see that link that Scott put in is travelistas.travel.com. That's my pretend company. But it's really easy to set up a domain in there. And to set up your domain, you just want to do that in your account settings. And we also offer trainings one-on-one free for you that we can hop on and help you set that up. But once you get that set up, you can just add your own slug, which is such a weird word, but it's basically at the end where it says travelistas.travel.com/2022-river-cruise. So it's easy. So you could tell somebody on the street and be like, are you interested? Go to this website. And you know it off the top of your head. It's really easy. So you can create your own slug in there, which is really nice. And then the other thing is you can always add, like your favicon, you can rearrange those. So I saw a question about that. You can rearrange all your elements in your settings. So you can go ahead and just create everything you need, then rearrange it to the way you want it to look. So you can do that in there. The other thing is you can also click on the SEO and social. Now, this is crucial. We're not spending a lot of time on this, but just because we're not spending a lot of time, please don't think it's not as important because it's really, really important is filling this information out when you click on SEO and social, because when someone shares that link on social media, which you'll see here in a minute, because I'll actually share it on our Facebook page, is that you'll see the photo. So this photo right now is not the right photo for this. So I actually want to update the image, and I want to say, I'm just going to do the Danube one again. So I'm just going to choose that photo. So this one right here. And then I'm going to save it. And then I can also change that SEO site description. And this is going to help people find this, So also you're pushing it out there in the world, but people also can be Googling things and searching and finding it and coming to you. So that's the whole point of this too, is, that marketing side of it. So those are some points that I just want to touch on there. But the other thing I want to do is I want to show you what this looks like. So let me go back to my settings here and grab this link. So I actually opened Travefy's Facebook page here. And so that way you can see what this looks like, because it's really cool. Look at this. It's so awesome. And so you can see this on there. So I'm just going to post this, but we like doing this to show you on social media how simple it is. So if you have like a Facebook group or Facebook page, Twitter, whatever it might be, you can just put this right in there. Look at that. It looks so nice. And then I can just click and view it. And this is what I see. I mean, it's incredible. So it's really, really nice. I can view that trip and all that good stuff. So that really is, that high level overview. It's not even really high level, because it really is still really getting into the nitty gritty, and you can still see how simple it is. But one thing I do want to mention before we get into questions is, if there's anybody on here who doesn't get your question answered, or you want more one-on-one assistance, definitely reach out to our team. You can chat us in your account. But you can also email us at professional@travefy.com and all that good stuff. Also check out our support center at travefy.com/support, because we have tons of videos. We have videos on website. We'll have more on landing pages coming soon too. So there's a lot in there.
And one real quick thing that I'll throw in the chat here momentarily, because there are a few questions that I think will be solved with this. In the chat, I'm about to throw in our support page. So on the support page, if you're signed into your Travefy account, it will actually see if you're a current customer, or if you're in your free trial, or you haven't started yet. And then it will automatically give you our customer training calendar, or you can schedule a demo with our sales team if you just want to go through basic questions, get an overview, things like that. That's super, super helpful. Those demos, those training sessions are 100% free, and feel free to schedule those if you need help setting up your domain masking, if you need to walk through how to build out your website or build out a landing page, or if you're pretty new to Travefy and you just want a demo or a walkthrough from our sales team, we're happy to do that and answer any questions that you have. So I'll throw that in the chat right now.
Awesome, cool. And yeah, and here's how that looks too. So when you're in your account, if you click the help button, just go in here. And this is nice and refreshed, literally yesterday, updated. So it's super cool in here, and you can find all of that. And actually, we'll end up probably putting this webinar in here as well, so you can go check that out. But here's where you can sign up. I mean, look, you can just easily go sign up. 3 p.m. Someone go grab it. So good. There's an empty time. But yeah, so it's really, really great. One thing that I did want to touch on, because I did see a question about this, is that you can also copy these. So if you ever want to build a landing page as like a template, so that way you don't have to go back and be like, what was the anatomy of it again? Or how did this workflow go? You could create one. And then when you get into any of your landing pages, just click those 3 buttons in the top right-hand corner when you open your settings, and you can click copy current page. You can also delete it. I saw another question someone asked about that too. But you can copy these pages. So this is huge, because also that toolbar at the top, if you need that to reflect what your website, if you use Travefy website builder, you can just always copy those. So then that way, things stay consistent too. And then, okay, so I see another question here is, some more asking about how to put that on Facebook. So it's really simple. You just need to get the link and copy and paste the link and on your status. So that link you'll always find in your settings. So again, if I'm coming in here, you'll just want to click on settings, and then see that link right here. Just click that little link button, and it'll just copy it, or you can just scroll your mouse over it and copy it, and then just paste that into a status. So really simple. You can paste that anywhere, email, anything like that too. Let's see these. There, okay, wait. Here's a question to you. I just saw this as it was going. Is can you please show where your forms are? Yes. So Kathy asked that, and your forms are actually going to be living in your library. So when you first get in here, just click library, and then if you click new library item, click form, and then you can build those in here. But you can also, if you are building it on the website, there is a button that you can press that just says new form, so you can just build it while you're in the website builder as well too in there.
Cool. And Stephanie, I threw some questions in our DM
Oh, cool.
that you
Cool.
can check out. I'll answer a couple questions while you're looking through those because you've already answered a few of them. A few questions. James, can we add in our own CSS, HTML? Not yet, not currently. Something we might add in the future, but we really let customer feedback kind of guide what we do. And so we collect feedback, and those top areas of feedback are where our product team usually focuses in. And to that point, another question was, will you be adding in other things to the website builder, like different fonts, different options, different things? And the answer to that is yes, absolutely. So that's where we like to work in an iterative basis. We'll push something out and just let users use it for several months and collect feedback along the way. And then again, we'll prioritize feedback based on what we're hearing. So that's where your voices are really important. So the live chat inside your account goes directly into our support team's inbox, and our product team, our development team, can view all of those conversations. So, we really want to hear your feedback on the website builder. What are the, key things that you would like to see added to it, or that would be really impactful for your business? So please do feel free to share that feedback with the live chat inside your account.
Yeah, absolutely. And so to get some of these questions here, is Anne Marie asked, can you upload a form not built in Travefy to be your call to action form? Absolutely. So you would just add that as an external link. So for example, like even on this one, I could add a button, and I could just say add button. And then when you say button type, you want external link. And then that way you can just paste in that URL right there. So that's how you would do that.
And I'll chime in here. Here's a question we had multiple times. Can you build multiple landing pages so that your landing pages can focus to a specific group or customer segment or promotion? Yes. And that's the whole point, is now with Travefy, you can build multiple landing pages. You can add multiple pages to your website, things like that, so that you can be very focused along the way with that.
Yeah. And one thing too that I wanted to I saw another question on here is, can I embed videos? Which we've gotten that question a lot, and yes, you can. It's really awesome. But one thing that I do want to point out is if you have a photo, so it's anywhere you can add a photo, but like if it's this way, you can't add. So if you add or you click into edit the photo, you won't see a video option available because there's text in front of it. But if it's like this one where there's just a standalone photo, if you click in the image area, you could upload a video. So you can just copy and paste the URL from like YouTube or Vimeo. So absolutely, you can put a video in there too, and really recommend it because those are awesome to put in there. Okay, let's see here. Oh, Joanna asked, are there sample websites I can look at? So we're actually in the process of working on that, because since landing pages are new, we're still, putting together examples in that. But one thing you could do is if you go to I can drop this in here. Let me drop this in the chat. Is this one of our landing pages here is for just the marketing website tools. But if you scroll down, you'll be able to see examples of all of our different themes. So it's not going to be like a real life example, but it'll give you an idea of what that can look like. So that could be helpful.
And if anyone on the webinar today has a pretty nice looking website and you're pretty happy with how it turned out, throw it in the chat and share it with, others. We would love to follow up with you and see if we can use it as an example and kind of showcase it that way. But just let us know, or feel free to share it in the chat for other travel advisors to check out.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be awesome. And Scott, this question I'm going to kind of ask you as well. So Holly asked, can we rearrange the way the landing page is set up? Example is itinerary details before the social proof. So you
Mhm.
definitely can within here, you can rearrange, but Scott, what would your answer be to that?
Yeah, so functionally within Travefy, you can rearrange those elements however you wish.
Mhm.
In terms of the best practices that we shared on landing page, that's more of like best practices, a guide. The probably the most important things that you make sure that you have on your landing page in a very accessible format: hero section and call to action. That those need to be easy to find and easy to access. You might even want to think about putting your call to action in multiple places on your landing page. We didn't go through that in detail, but it's as simple as adding the button to a form for that lead inquiry, or whatever that call to action is in there. So you can change that. This is more of just best practices to help people that haven't really built landing pages before have a good roadmap to get started.
Mhm. Um, yes, and then so another question here is Keisha asked, can you collect credit card info with these forms? So that's a really good question. So you won't be able to with the form in a website. And the reason why is because for credit card authorization, and also if you're getting like an e-signature, that is secured information. So you'll need to get that directly from one client via their email. So you have to send it as an email to them. So because of that, you won't be able to actually add that form, publicly. So you'll see that too. So if I click like add button and I choose the form, you'll see when I say import from Travefy, um, you'll see the forms that I do have available to import and the ones that I don't. So see how these have little locks on them because it's a waiver form. That's because I have either asked for an e-signature on that form or it's credit card authorization. So it'll let you know that like, hey, we can't use that one. But what you could do is you could create a form or just a simple contact me and put your email. And then once they email you, then you go into your Travefy account and send it to them personally. So you could do it that way too.
And several people have been super awesome and shared their Travefy website or landing pages in the chat. I've already clicked through to a few of them. There's some really great examples that people have put some really nice time and thought and energy into. Check those out in the chat if you haven't already. Some really good ones in there.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing those too, everyone. That's really cool. Okay. Oh, okay. So James asks here, how do you link from web pages to this landing page? So what you can do, there's a couple of things you can do. So I don't want to confuse things too much, but basically to give you an overview is if you need to link things like to each other, you can do it multiple ways because you could either take the link of that landing page and put it as an external link on a button anywhere if it's Travefy, whatnot. But like say you need to on the toolbar, you want to link back to your home page or something on here. All you have to do is just click add item and then you can just click link. And then since again, everything's in one place in Travefy, you can say you want it to go to a page. So then it'll go to a page that you've already created, or it'll show all the pages available that you've created. So hopefully that makes sense. And again, if you have questions, just definitely email us at professional@travefy.com and we can take a look at your website and try to get a good idea of what you're trying to do and show you the best way to do that. Let's see here. Can we change the hex codes to the colors of our brand? Carolyn asked. Yes, you can. So that's in your settings. So if you go to your settings, where your theme is, so click on theme, and then there's the theme color, and you can reset that. So you can do the RGB, or you can put that like hex color number in there, that code in there as well. And then that'll change the color in certain areas, like this bar, the text, things like that.
And a few questions I saw in here of archiving versus deleting landing pages so you don't have to remove them. A couple things in there. We don't currently have an archive option with the landing pages. Now, keep in mind, you're not charged for keeping landing pages out there. I know it's more of a question of like people being able to get to a landing page that isn't really active anymore. That's great feedback. We'll share that with the product team of something to consider in the future of a way to archive landing pages like you can archive trips in Travefy. But we don't currently have that quite yet, but that's great feedback.
Yeah. A good question here from Marianne is, do you think landing pages are better than just having the Travefy itinerary on your website? So I think either way you go is going to be great. The thing that's really nice about the landing page though, is if you need to include more information. So if you need more, if you're just, you really just want to show the trip and then, you have, a contact me thing, that's great. But if you do need more information like we have on here, where you're like, here's what's included on this, here's why you need to be doing this, all right, are you interested? Here's your next step. Because you can't really do that. You can do that on the itinerary, but you would just have to do it a little differently, a little bit of hacking your way around it. So it's definitely doable. But this is also a really great way if you have more information to include.
Yeah, it depends on your goal. The landing
Mm-hmm.
page builder is going to give you just an exceptionally high level of being able to curate and customize the content and the messaging of what you want displayed. And it's really built for that kind of landing page experience to really entice people. So the itinerary is fantastic, but you'll have a higher level of customization of what you can achieve with the landing page builder.
Yeah, absolutely. I also just have to call this out. It's so funny. Keisha said, now I can stop buying domain names every time I want to create a new landing page. Yes. Oh my gosh, that's going to be a huge game changer for you. Yeah. And once again, too, going back on the domain masking that I was talking about, it's so awesome. And the nice thing too is if you already have a domain and you have a website already outside of Travefy, you can still use that in Travefy. It just would be a subdomain. So it would be like trips.yourdomainname.com. So if you do have a domain, definitely set it up. And it's really easy. If you don't have a domain, what it's going to look like is it'll just say travefy.com/website. It'll just give you a generic link to use. So you certainly can use this without a domain, but adding that domain is really nice. And again, we will work with you to put that together too, if you need help.
And a quick clarification, just because I saw we created, you and I, I'm not pointing the finger at you, Stephanie. We created a little confusion. Right now with Travefy, with your account, you can have one domain connected to your website or landing page. So we won't be able to house multiple domains. So if like Keisha was saying, you're purchasing, a new domain for a different trip or a different promotion or campaign you're creating, right now we can only host, or not host, but use one domain for your domain masking for your Travefy website, your landing pages, your itineraries, your forms. It has to be linked to one domain. Now that could also potentially change in the future. That's where we just want to hear your feedback on how you do that, how you use it, and see, where that gets prioritized in all of the customer feedback. So, just keep that feedback coming. But currently you can have one domain connected to your account, and we can definitely offer free training sessions to help you get that set up. And we posted that link in the chat for you.
Yeah, no, that's great clarification. See, this is why I love having Scott on here with me, because that's so great. It's a very important to say, yeah, one domain per team in there. But it looks like I've kind of gone through a lot of these questions. I know that there's still so many, and there's going to be more that come out as you get in there and play around. So again, definitely reach out to us. We'll get this once this is done recording. I'll get it up on YouTube as quick as I can. So if you go to our YouTube channel, you can find it there. Our help center as well, great source for all those tutorials and videos. But I just want to thank everybody again. This was so much fun. And I really am excited to see all the landing pages that people create and really get you thinking about how you can use this for your marketing efforts. And it's going to be awesome. I'm excited.
Yeah. And thank you everyone for attending. I see there's still some questions kind of flowing in here. Because we're running up on the hour, we want to keep the webinar as concise as possible. So what I'm going to do, if we didn't get your question answered, I truly apologize, because a lot of you had fantastic, really in-depth questions. Love that. I'm going to post the support link in the chat. Feel free to click on that and then schedule a one-on-one demo or training session. And our team would be happy to connect with you individually to go through any questions that you didn't get answered today.
Absolutely. And yeah, and thank you so much, everybody, and appreciate again. Thanks, Scott, for joining us here. Great
Love
times.
it. Happy Friday, everybody. Whee! Thanks, Stephanie.
Yeah, see you guys later.
See ya.
See ya.